UFC is huge now. MMA is huge. Do you think that Jiu-Jitsu is still looked at like the dominant martial art that it once was? Or has it changed a little bit?
Man, it's a good question. I was talking about this with Manny, some of the students, that it's very difficult to find a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, except for like T-City.
Right.
To use their Jiu-Jitsu to get the fight where they want it. Normally that's taken up by the wrestler. You always hear the wrestler, I wrestle, I'll take the fight wherever I want it.
Right.
I'll clinch, I'll take you down, ground and pound you, I keep striking. So has it changed? Yes.
Yeah.
Except for a few, like I say, like Brian Ortega. And man, we had who? My guy that I love, Damian Maya.
Right.
Okay, he's last of the guys that just needed to actually stop doing jiu-jitsu, practice your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or some wrestling.
Right.
But other than that, we got Brian Ortega, but it has changed.
Yeah.
So it's now the wrestler that has now taken up that if you wrestle, and maybe you're up to maybe purple belt level in jiu-jitsu, man, you can go world champion.
Right.
So yes, it has changed. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah. So here's one that people have a different take on, quite often when I hear different opinions. Do you think that it's important that jiu-jitsu instructors, people who are teaching the art, have competed before? Do they need to have competitive experience to, be an effective instructor?
Good question. If you're teaching students that want to go win a medal, right? If they're into jiu-jitsu for the tournament life, then it's imperative that you go to a school that has that philosophy and your instructor has competed to know what that feels like.
Sure.
Right? Me, I'll tell my guys, man, I'm not even, I don't really believe too much hard in the competition because, that's just not how I was introduced to jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
But if we're gonna have some guys that wanna actually try it, then guess what? This week, you guys have to know these techniques. You gotta put the clock on. You have to have a strategy. You're not gonna be able to submit everyone because now you're in a bunch of your peers that do the same thing. So how are you gonna address that? So if you're students that want to do tournaments, it's very important that they do go to an instructor that believes into that same philosophy. Me, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, gun, knife on the wall. Most jiu-jitsu schools don't have any heavy bags that are hanging.
Right.
Boxing gloves over in their corner.
You got your black belt from Royce.
Yes.
Royce is arguably one of the most important martial artists ever, responsible for the explosion of jiu-jitsu in America and around the world. And like I said, arguably one of the most important martial artist figures ever. Interesting question. What happens if Royce loses in those early UFCs? What happens with jiu-jitsu if he doesn't win those matches?
Man, we would have been training with Ken Shamrock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We would have been learning leg locks, and what I mean? Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock. Who else? Pat Smith. You know what I mean?
Dan Severn.
Dan Severn for sure.
Right.
We would have thought that you still need some form of some awesome striking, big muscles.
Right.
And some form of wrestling. Still, you had to take someone down if you weren't that guy that had one punch knockout power or the athleticism.
Right.
Man, if you look at Ken Shamrock, man, he still looks,
Diesel.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want to get hit by that guy.
No, of course not. Would jiu-jitsu have still made it out of Brazil and been as big in America as it is now if Royce didn't take care of business in the early years?
Man, I have to say no.
No?
I have to say no.
Yeah, okay.
No. That was Horian's child, you know what I mean?
That's how big it was though,
That's
right?
How big, yeah, for Horian to say, we always thought about that. Who take all the martial artists, put them together, and which style would actually be, that's what the original concept was. No time limit, no rules. You can't take away this guy's 2-inch punch. You can't take away the groin shot. You can't take away the headbutt. You can't take away the Muay Thai elbow.
Right.
And who will prevail? Yeah. You know what I mean? So nowadays, when you figure out there's everyone that fights in the UFC has to have some form of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Whether they want to call it jiu-jitsu or they want to call it submission grappling, you have to know some form of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it just goes to
It
show.
would have showed that jiu-jitsu wouldn't have made it if Royce would have lost.
Yeah,
right?
so there you go. That's how much was riding on that.
For sure.
Right?
All right, here we go, guys. Double sleeve control. He breaks this grip. I know he's gonna push my knee down. Foot on the ground, hip off. When he jumps over this leg, catch him in half guard with this leg. I wanna take my other arm, catch his leg. Dive, just like that. If I don't have this arm, I'm just gonna put it off the base, hug my neck, and I'm stuck in half guard, no good with this hand here. He breaks, he goes for my knee. Look how I try to hide it a little bit. When he forces it down, I shoot it in, he steps around, catch, he hugs my neck. Notice how I hit under him, then roll him over. We have a couple of options from here. He's gonna shield. I call this the Bentley pass. Go under, catch his leg here. I can go under, I can catch the material. Okay? Go under, catching material. Flag my leg off, come around the corner, stand up. Knee on the stomach. One more time. Breaks the grip. I try to hide my knee. He pushes it down, steps, catch. When he hugs my neck, that's my go time. And all the way over. Look how our elbows are here. Not letting his hand hit the ground. Keep this. He's going to stop me from here. Go under. Grabbing that material. Flag your leg away. Come around the corner. Turn around, man. With this leg here, guys, I can't get my leg off unless I go that way. If I have both knees down, I'll help the windshield wiper. If I have this leg up, you can do it with one. I can do it with both. And then stand up. If an MMA school hired me for their jiu-jitsu coach, they would be real upset. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because I would show them how to protect themselves from the bottom.
Right.
And then the head guy will come out and say, Pat, time. This guy only has 5 minutes. He's got to get up.
Right.
He's losing. Right. And I'm like, hey, but you got to block the punch from here and make the space, tire the guy out.
Right.
Then I'm thinking, well, that's why Horian had to let things go because of the rules and
Right.
the time limits. And if I'm fighting someone bigger, you know the story. I'm preaching to the choir.
No, of course.
So, you know.
What's your take? How do you feel about, these days a lot of people doing no-gi training?
Yes.
What's your take? Obviously, we came up under more traditional gi sort of training. What's your take on the whole gi versus no-gi training?
Man, you have to take yourself out of the gi a couple of times out of the week. Or what we do is we have a Thursday, no gi, and then I have a Monday MMA class where it's strictly mixed martial arts, where I don't use my jiu-jitsu looking at it and say, you need to take the fight here, where we just strictly talk about mixed martial arts, what you need to know if you wanted to go do mixed martial arts. Not my bias looking saying, shoot, take them down all the time.
Right.
The other night we did purely Muay Thai, you know what I mean? Just, striking, check, striking, distance control, stay away from the power shot, striking. Didn't hit the ground once. It was a Muay Thai class.
Right.
So I try not to, be always one-sided. Jiu-jitsu, always take them down, do this. So we do have an MMA class, and then Thursday, no-gi class. The no-gi class, how does that work? Because of my background, it normally starts off with some form of a self-defense move because, and I can't help it, right? A violent act, a block or this, a choke or something. And then we hit the ground and say, where are our handles for no-gi? A lot of leg locks come into play, control aspects, so I don't mind. I like the no-gi.
All the jiu-jitsu training, all the life lessons, all the principles that we learn on the mat and we adopt, What are some ways that you've taken those lessons off of the mat with you? What are some of the ways that you've adopted the jiu-jitsu principles and had that permeate into the rest of your life?
Man, we don't have enough time. No.
30 seconds, go.
Man, which one could I pick? Here's one. I wasn't always good at jiu-jitsu, and I don't know if I am good at jiu-jitsu right now. Someone gave me a belt that I'll never know if I deserve this belt. And that's the funny thing about jiu-jitsu. Someone better than you gives you a belt, and you will never know if you live up to those things. Yeah, you take a test, do this, and okay, the person gives you the belt. It's like the military. You know what I mean? You stripe here, sergeant, this and this. Someone higher ranking than you promoted you.
Right. They're pulling you up.
Yes.
Right?
And so when that happens, you're trying to either not disappoint the person who pulled you up and says, I think you should be here. And you have that hanging over your head. And so you, yeah, damn, I don't want this thing sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so heavy.
Right.
When I have that, and I think about certain problems or challenges I have outside of jiu-jitsu, let's say I don't like big crowds. I have an issue with going into the bank. I don't like certain family functions. Man, I gotta go to a wedding. God damn. Not that the fact that I don't like the person getting married, maybe it's my girlfriend and her friends getting married, I gotta go, I'm not gonna know anyone. This is gonna completely suck. And she's part of the wedding, you know,
right.
That's when my jiu-jitsu helps me. It's like, man, this person has me cross-eyed, relax. Relax, I can't move, I can't run right now. I know this person can't make me tap by laying on me. So dealing with uncomfortable positions, and you know, being in jiu-jitsu, you are going to be in some very uncomfortable positions. And knowing that once you're really uncomfortable, you can tap at any moment and they'll get off of you, but you're gonna feel like garbage driving home because they really didn't have me, and I tapped and I lied because he was on my finger, but I just didn't like his hairy chest in my face and flossing my teeth. You know what I mean? So you learn to deal with some really uncomfortable positions that you would tap and you can tap. And I take that into my own personal life when I get in uncomfortable positions to say, wow, this really feels uncomfortable. My hands are sweating, but I know they can't kill me. You know what I mean? It can't make me tap, but it feels like they're on my neck and I want to run out the door. But sit. I didn't ever believe this. I heard this. You would hear Hickson talk about it, Royce Gracie, say, hey, when you train jiu-jitsu, it's going to make you a better person. You'll feel this way. You'll be more confident. You just want me to sign up.
Right.
But then when it happens and you catch yourself and you're like, oh, man, I didn't go to jail today because I didn't jump out the car. You know what I mean? Or jump on someone.
Yeah.
Normally people ask about my belt.
Yeah.
And it's not a red bar here. It's a black belt with the actually royal blue belt, and you got the whatever stripes those mean and whatever stripes these mean, I never knew. The reason it's not red is because Helio actually never had a black belt. He only wore a royal dark blue belt. So if you guys ever find a picture with him wearing a black belt, let me see, because I've never seen him. Photoshop. So what Royce wears a dark royal blue belt. So at one point,
now is that a humility thing? Is that I'm just forever learning sort of concept?
It started with Helio. Have you ever seen Helio wear his blue belt?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
It was because he was like, why are all these guys wearing these black belts? And the way they got their black belts was based on a tournament lifestyle and the culture of you're tough and rough and tough and you go win every tournament on your athleticism, you should be black belt. Not a curriculum base of certain moves, maybe even self-defense and some tournament moves. But what was the curriculum of getting a belt? And so in protest, Helio started wearing, I'm just a blue belt then if you guys are all these black belts. Then when Helio passed, I thought about wearing a blue belt, and then I saw Royce do it, and I was like, man, you met Helio. So you see the people that have this guy on the wall, right? You never met the guy. And I'm almost, that bugs me. You know what I mean? Because I got a picture of my blue belt and Royce in his black belt, Royce in a black belt, and Helio in his red belt. So before that kind of went crazy. So just, let you guys know that it should be red here, but in honor of Helio, That's why we wore the royal blue, and Royce is a royal blue belt. So maybe in his craziness, he's going to go like, hey, we're not going to go red belt. When you want to get to that status,
Right,
maybe we'll
right.
go royal blue, because Paleo at his ending died in a blue belt.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? So
Very cool.
So we're not trying to disrespect anybody with our belts, and people are like, why are they going crazy with that? But I do keep my other belts back there with the bread, because that's what I saw. And I was like, man, what happened? Are you going to switch again? You know what I mean? But no, so
That's great. Pat, thanks for so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. It's an honor.
thank you.
And we'll do it again.